Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
All right, welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Bar Talk with Jay.
One of the things I want to tell you is brought to you by Dispose LLC. This is a garbage company that's been around now for over 2 years. We try to make some pickups smooth out. So come check us out. Go to the website and better yet, just go ahead and find out how I can get that trash that might be causing that corona around you, away from you, get into the landfill so you can live a better life. Yeah, at Dispose.
Yes.
Now I gotta get back to the band that's been rocking with me now, going on 5 years, come September the 17th. Craftmatic, how you doing tonight, big baby?
Fabulous, Smooth Jay.
Still smiling.
Just fabulous, man. Always gonna smile, you know.
I like it.
Life is just picking up in a positive way, man.
Okay.
You know, I kind of measure my days, I measure my weeks. I oftentimes take a look at where I was and where I am. I like to see progress.
I like it.
And I'm seeing lots of progress, man. So things are well. How you doing, Smooth Jay?
Man, let me tell you, it's kind of rough for me right now. Man, my girls called me and said they lost their grandmother. And it was very hard for them. So, you know, I feel for my children.
Yes.
You know, let alone their mom. You know, it was unexpected. I can't say it's coronavirus or anything. The most thing I can say is, you know, she was an angel.
Yeah.
They definitely called back home. So it's going to be hard for my girls to get past all this. The only thing I can do is give them strength and encouragement.
Right.
You know, from a father from afar, from being way down here while they're up there in Akron.
Yeah.
But they already know, man, my heart and my spirit is up there with them through this hard time.
Yes.
So it dampened a little bit of my day, but then it also hyped me up. It hyped me up because it let me know I got a mission and I got to complete it before that day comes for me.
Yes.
And quit playing around, acting like, you know, I got unlimited time. And that's the one thing I don't have unlimited of. You know, you can say you have unlimited money, you have unlimited sources, but you don't know your time.
Yes, you don't know your time.
Yeah, that stamp is a mother.
That's great. I've been saying it a lot lately, actually, to people, that life is not promised to me,
Right.
but I'm going to live like it is. But that means that there is no wasted time.
There you go.
There is no off time. There is no relief time. There is no downtime. We go hard all day, every day. We get just enough rest to keep making it through tomorrow. When I get done with life, I'm going to be tired.
Then I'm asleep.
Then I'm going to sleep. I'm not going to sleep right now, right? Perfect way to introduce our show. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And we are here to simply liberate your minds and your souls with a great dialogue. We just simply want to chop it up right here tonight over a given subject. And as we do, we'd like you to participate from your own seat. How do these ideas make a difference in your life or to you? What would you do? What will you not do? How will you handle it when it comes up in your life? Be very decisive about how you conclude your thought processes on these subjects. You're going to find that it can be very therapeutic, and the next time you run into the situation, you've already built your wall of stance to be able to fight through whatever you need to fight through. So thank you folks so much for being here tonight. I always say we are nothing, once again, without you. We hope you enjoy this show. We got a great show lined up for you, and of course we always start the show off with a prayer. And I didn't know, Jay, did you want to pray for us tonight?
Man, I need you to pray over the family, bro.
Yeah.
They need us tonight. So give them something they can definitely feel his grace and mercy.
Yeah. And, you know, part of this prayer is going to be a little meditation, I would think, because I just don't know if I have all the words to put into place for such a subject. But there are many people who have been losing loved ones. There's been a lot of loss going on over the past year and a half, and we are, continuing to see it, and everybody seems to be suffering from great loss and the great loss of life. And so I just want to kind of pray and meditate over this tonight, and we're going to hand it over to the Lord. Heavenly Father, we come to you right now, just thanking you for your graces and your mercies in our life. We thank you for your peace and your strength. And we thank you for all that you are in our lives. We ask, Heavenly Father, that you would give us a deeper understanding and a deeper revelation of losing loved ones. We've been traumatized with the loss of family members throughout this world, Lord, in the last year and a half. And we are just don't always understand it. And we don't always know how to think and how to deal with it, you know, the emotions and the thoughts. just asking that you would just liberate our spirit tonight with a greater awareness of how to deal with the loss of these loved ones. We're asking, Father, to come out of these situations of losing family members, believing and trusting and receiving a time to celebrate. We want to move from sadness and pain, Lord, to a time of celebration and rejoicing. Give us the ability to move forward to a greater place in our lives, filled with the great memories of those that we lost, Heavenly Father. We want to be able to think about the good times, Father. We want to be able to think about what they meant to us. We want to be able to think about how they grounded us, or how they helped us, or how we helped them, and how important we were each to each other in our lives. We're asking for the understanding of life tonight, Heavenly Father. Comfort us and comfort our emotions and our spirits. Give us understanding and peace and a relief in our spirit when we lose loved ones. Again, help us to move forward into happiness and rejoicing. Give us all the support and the money, and help us get over the past. Just strengthen and encourage our spirits tonight on this subject. Be here with us in this show, and give us grace, mercy, and of course your wisdom. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Kraft.
Amen. Yeah. Yeah.
And a moment of silence right there.
Yeah. You know, the whole time I was praying, I was thinking about my cousin, my favorite cousin that I lost, man. And, you know, I'm moving to a whole new level of consciousness myself. And I'm realizing that these people aren't really going away. They're transforming into something perhaps other than what we know now. But they're moving, they came from the spirit, they held the body, and they moved back into the spirit. And when they move back in their spirit, it really is a time of rejoicing. I just imagine my cousin and my dad still celebrating right now. They, you know, if it's possible to be out on the back porch having a good drink and laughing about old times, they're sitting out there right now, full of joy. They're sitting out there right now, just as living the you know, on the playground of the promised land, as I always say. You know, and so we have to know that our loved ones are going to a greater place, and you know, it's not easy to get to that place, but that is the place that we absolutely must end up in order to understand the true loss of life. You know,
I know that's right.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to last week's topic. It was an excellent topic, man. I really got a lot out of this topic, right?
Yeah.
Can a person's social media influence you not to date or date them?
Not till I said yes, it can.
Well, hell yeah, it can. That's the result.
That was real answer.
Yeah.
I sold it down this time around.
Yeah.
But yes, it can. And again, if you're in an investigative mode, you're putting it out there, so it's just your evidence of what you're doing. And my whole thing is, if that's what you're looking for, that's what you will see. I always try to investigate the person. I like hearing your words and watching your actions, and now I dictate a lot more off of that than just what I see, because that could be opinionated by what you put out, but what come out, you know, out your mouth, what you write stands by what you feel.
Yeah, and let me ask you this, and this is, I guess we're going to just have a mini continuation of last week's show, but based on what you just said, if you meet somebody and they're one kind of person, but then you see their social media is like a different kind of person,
right?
Well, which one do you trust? Which one is the most effective?
At that point, both of them are suspect. Both of them are suspect because it showed me something different. I should see more of the same. Once I hear you and I interact with you, and then you putting out something different, I'm wondering where that different coming from. So now I gotta question both.
Which one is the real you?
I don't know. Right. So instead of saying, "Oh, that's you," and being judgmental, no, I want you to show me, because you're totally different.
Yeah.
Now and some people are psychotic.
Yeah.
And you know, I need to know that too.
Yeah, and you can start to see it if they post some psychotic stuff, right?
Talk third person or whatever.
Listen, I think the key to the entire discussion comes down to this.
What's that?
That what you post on social media matters.
Yes, it can.
What you post on social media has a dramatic influence to the world around you. They will begin to see you as the person who you express in that picture or that post or that video or that saying or whatever. That that is not just something you said. It is who you are
Right.
out there in mainstream America and mainstream the world. And when people see it, they can't help but believe that you are associated with this idea. You like this idea. You support this idea. And this is how you feel about the idea. So it is very important that we pay close attention to what we post in social media. I'm of the notion nowadays that you really need to have kind of a campaign, right? That there's one of my buddies that the only thing he ever really posts is his outfit for the day. And he'll have a nice comment like, hey, you know what I'm saying, headed to have a great day, gonna have a nice cigar tonight. And so his whole platform is, you know, his outfit, saying hello to everybody. It ain't trying to say nothing deep. It ain't trying to make no messages. He ain't put nothing out there about gang banging or politics or whatever, right? So, and I like to put out just positivity, right? I don't even like to put out much about my own personal life. I just like to put out positive ideas. And so that is my campaign. And when you come to my site, my platform, you're going to see that's all I pretty much represent. I don't represent anything else. You won't hear me put no politics out there. You won't put no women videos out there. You won't hear me. You won't see me like anything that could be suspect. Right? Even though I might like it, I will not push the like button because I don't want to be tied to it. Right? I believe in what it said. It's absolutely right on point.
I like what I see.
But I'll go over it and won't push the button. And sometimes I'll go and read the comments. You know, I'll enjoy it, but I will not attach myself to it.
I gotta do a better job. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I campaign to catch your attention. I'll tell you straight up, half this stuff don't got nothing to do with me. Right. If it's raunchy and it's something I feel like might catch your eye and get a conversation stirred up, that's what I do.
That's your campaign.
That's me. That's me. So a lot of times I'm gonna get confused in that. And I'm not the one getting confused. People confuse me, but they think I'm confused because you one way, but then over there because this is a business, and my thing is to grab your attention and get the most followers I can, and I can't keep it simple because simple ain't getting nobody's attention.
Right.
So I have to do a little bit outside the box.
That's good.
And I'm doing it for a reason because I'm grabbing to grab you, but then I'm gonna give you some good stuff along with it. So I'm not just gonna give you the gossip and the bull. I'm going to talk about it a little bit and bring you back to a reality.
Yes. And you know what? This is good for everybody to hear because, you know, anybody who's ever going to be anybody is probably going to have some kind of social media interaction or campaign or whatever. It's just the way of the world right now and probably forevermore. But he's thinking about what he wants to put out, right? Listen to this now. He thinks about what he wants to put out, who he wants to be seen as, who he wants to catch, who he looking for, what he wants to achieve with that message, right? And he already is aware it can be misconstrued, but it's a part of his campaign, right? I think we all need to rethink what we're doing now because we've never really been in front of each other like we are now. But now that we are, you got to know that some of the stuff you're putting out now might catch up with you in 20 years.
Yes.
Just like your jail record, right? Just like, you know, just like when you got caught doing something, when you got fired for 2 jobs, you know what I'm saying? And you thought nobody knew and it caught up with you, that some of the stuff you may be putting out there will catch up with you. And please don't let it cause your Mr. or Mrs. Right to misjudge you, okay? And that can happen. So it was an excellent discussion. I want you folks to go back and take a look at it. We're all over the internet: Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Periscope. Yeah.
Keep it going, man. You're doing it on everything that you can imagine on social media. You will see us on.
We're there. And that's just, you know, that's, again, one of the things that Jay says, wherever people are, that's where Bar Talk with Jay is going to be.
Yeah.
And that's a part of, you know, his campaign for the show. So, check us out, like us, share us, subscribe, send it to all your friends and families, and continue to watch and support us right here at Bar Talk with Jay. How much time we got, Boo? 2 minutes? Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about, here's our title for tonight. Should you go into a relationship with a childhood friend or just stay friends?
Oh, I can't wait to get back with that one. I'm telling
Yeah.
you right now, I got some thoughts on that.
Yeah, I got some understandings we need to get about relationships on this one. I want to attack this one from a little different angle.
Don't worry, I'm gonna take it from a nasty point of view.
We already know how you get down.
Dude.
I can't wait to hear it though, because you always intrigue me with what you got to say.
Okay.
But it's going to be one of those subjects that's really about the depth of relationships, I think.
I'm on the thermos. That top layer of skin. I'm on the thermos, man. I'm on the top. Cause you getting deep. I ain't deep. I'm on the top. Because I'm telling you,
I want to get deep. I want to get deep because this is one of those things that we all will face at one point in time. We all will come to the understanding that should I do this or should I not do this? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I got some great examplos. So we'll be back with that.
Okay, all right. So we're getting ready to go ahead and take our first break, and want you folks to stay tuned. We hope you are enjoying the show. Show gets a little bit better every segment, and of course, as the show goes on, Jay and I get a little deeper into the subject. We've got the good Reverend Dr. Jeffrey coming on tonight at 7:40, I do believe.
That's right.
So you folks stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this. Welcome back.
Man, that crowd be hitting them on them brakes, boy. We deep with them, man. I like that.
That's good, man. I'm gonna tell you, Jay. When I, from me to you, if I could do anything that would help you grow your business,
right,
and improve your life, I would help you start to see yourself big.
Okay.
Right. That all the problems that you're having now, you've solved them.
Right.
See it in your mind's eye. The problems are solved. All the trucks are on line. All the people, we got people lined up waiting to work for you. Your business is growing like wildfire. Now you got 35, 40 trucks in the marketplace. You got an office building. Now you got secretaries. Now you got, you go into the office every day just counting checks. You know what I'm saying? That you got to hold those images in your mind, because those are the images that are going to come forth as your reality. Okay. Right? That's how you keep your mind off of worry and problem. You keep seeing the vision come to life. Right? Oh. And let that be your stronghold. Right? So no matter what you're going through, it's just become the process to get to where you're going.
I like that.
Yeah. It's like throwing a rope toward your goal. And once you hook it, all you're doing is just pulling yourself. You just reeling yourself right on in, right up the side of that hill, that mountain.
Now just to let you know, when I do the social media, I'm throwing that hook out there.
Yeah, what kind of hook you throwing out there?
To bring him in. I'm just trying to break it down for y'all to understand why I do what I do.
Hey, my father would call you a dangerous liar.
That right? I got a heck of a hook. All right, too bad I ain't a rapper.
Wow, boy. Let's go ahead and take it on home with the topic for tonight.
Okay.
Tonight, the topic goes like this. Should you go into a relationship with a childhood friend or just stay friends?
I'm going to give it a two-part. Mine is like this. When you a childhood friend and it was something that was a chemistry.
Was chemistry, okay.
Chemistry.
Okay.
Then I say sometimes you can pursue it because you already felt something there. It's different when it wasn't no chemistry. Because you try to make something because you're comfortable. Okay? This person always been around me. They should know me. It's comfortable, but there's no chemistry. So now you got to try to create it. But there are certain people you have that chemistry with, and you didn't go that way, but you always felt it. And then you had that opportunity. Like, they done grew, they done changed, you done changed, and now y'all want to try it. I'm going to be the one to tell you, if y'all both in the position where you know each other, you got it, you feel it, you're adults, do it. When you're young, you don't know. You're not really there. You're not all that knowing of a relationship. You just know, hey, I like you. Whatever reason. Later on, you find out because she had a sexy body, great conversation, sexy voice, whatever. At the other time, you just knew you liked her. You know, that's not really enough to make it happen.
Right.
But when you get older, it's a great conversation piece.
Yes.
Like, you know, I always admired you. I admired you. And then the conversation just picks up and the chemistry gets stronger.
Right.
And at that point, you have a foundation of a relationship, and it's called a friendship. Trust the person you're with if you're going to enter a relationship with a person.
Okay.
So I like to say yes. Now, if you friend somebody, that means you really didn't want to be with somebody. Now that's when I say, hell no. Because you're going to force something. I knew I didn't like your butt. And I kept you away from me. But they kept, you know, picking with you. They kept talking to you. And then one time you're at your lowest point and they there. And you be like, why not? Because they always been there. So you're forcing, you know. You're on your
You're
low.
settling.
Yeah, way settling. Because you should heal from what you just went through. And you settling with a person that at least was there. So to me, you ain't being fair to that person because they admired you.
Okay.
They have chemistry with you. You don't have it with them.
Okay.
So they're going to do a whole lot for you and you probably going to rob them. And it's nothing personal. It's just how it normally goes. And that's why I said you got to watch out. Because again, when somebody more into you than you into them, that's not always going to be a good balance.
Mm.
And you be like, well, I didn't see it that way. Because you really wasn't into them.
Right.
And that person is hurt because they told you. And when they tell you, they feel like you should now understand. And I hate to say this word, they expect you to change because you know now. And knowing is just a part of it. I don't have to change because I know it. It got to be up to me. So a strong person ain't going to hear that. A weak person might be like, yes, she did tell me. Because you ain't had nothing going for you anyway. That's just your weak ass. Go ahead, because you're going to fall for anything.
Yeah.
So that right there, you just live miserably, live your life however you want. But when you're alpha male and you understand where you're going, that's not going to turn you. That's not going to even be like, okay, that's a conversation. And that's what's going to upset the other person.
Okay.
Because they're used to a person giving it to them their way. And now you're being more stubborn. Because you have goals, you have ambition and drive other than what somebody else might have. And that should also turn a person on.
Right.
At the same time. But now you turned on even more and he turned off even more.
Mm.
And that right there can cause all kinds of problems.
Yes, it can.
So they say equally yoked. You ain't nowhere equal and your yoke just went sour. Watch it. Watch it.
Right.
It's not good.
Yeah, man. Ooh, Jay, you covered so much material right there, man. I'm going to slow us down as I always try to do.
Feel
The
free.
first thing you said is there's a dichotomy, right?
Uh-huh.
There's chemistry or there's not chemistry.
Mhm.
You know, that's one of the determining factors if you should, you know, go into a relationship with a childhood friend, right?
Correct.
And I think that's so important. You know, sometimes we go into a relationship because it's kind of just easy and maybe it just kind of come together. It's kind of right timing. But maybe that's one of the ways that you discern, you know, hey, did we really have a chemistry back then? You know, did we really feel each other? Were we really vibing? And I think ultimately all relationships should come down to that. You know, am I really vibing with this person? Maybe not even just personal relationships, but even professional relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Am I vibing? Am I getting along with this person? Do we have chemistry? You know, do we kind of, you know, feel each other's intelligent, you know, areas where what I don't know, they know, and what
Right.
they don't know, I know, you know. Chemistry is an extreme part of a relationship,
Mhm.
right? So that's one great way. I love that, right? One of the other things that I want to just drop in there is compatibility.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you talked about that equally yoked thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at whatever time you might get together with your childhood love. It could be some of you listening to this will be fairly young, you know, in your 20s. And there'll be some of you who are in the, you know, 40s, 50s, and 60s and hear this conversation. And, you know, the question should always be, no matter where you are you feeling chemistry? Right? And that's a self-check question in a relationship.
All day long.
Am I really feeling this person? Right? You know, and it's just so important. So now there is, okay, I'm feeling this person. Is there compatibility? Are we equally yoked? You know, do we kind of like the same things? Do we get along, or are we always at odds?
Thank you.
arguing? Are we always disagreeing? Because I'm going to tell you, if you go into a pattern where you're always disagreeing, that shit usually don't end.
Not well.
It usually don't end. It usually is kind of the nature of your relationship. That you can start to expect that that's how the relationship is going to be. And if you find that the relationship is not that way any longer, perhaps somebody's already left. Because they don't want to talk about it anymore. They're tired of talking about it. They're tired of fussing about it. They're tired of dealing with it. That you're not going to see their point. So, in such case, again, you're not equally yoked. And if you're not equally yoked early in the game,
right.
if you are at odds early in the game, it's going to be a long haul to fix that. Right?
I agree.
Now you got to figure out if you're going to fix it. So here you are with your childhood friend, and somehow or another y'all done come together, and you just, I don't know what's going on, but you're tiffing. You just, you made great love last night. Maybe y'all had some great dates, went out, maybe traveled a little bit, went out of town, and, after the newness wore off, you start, tiffing with each other. You start being like, hey, you kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. Or, we just don't see eye to eye on, looks like a lot of things.
Right.
It's important to pay attention to those. Because as soon as the newness wear off, that now you're going to have to start to face the real one another, right? And it's not going to be the one another that you knew back when you was in high school, right? Or when you was in your hometown. If it's 2-3 years or 15-20 years later, this is a completely different person. They may still have the same values. They may have come from you again came from similar areas, similar histories, but this person is edgy now, or this person is maybe a little too laid back now. Right? Oh, this person became a taker. Oh, this person got a smart mouth.
People change.
Yeah, and so as soon as you recognize that, now what you're about to do, and I wanted to make this point here.
Okay.
When you begin to entertain a relationship from a friendship, that you're going to win some and you're going to lose some, right? And what I mean by that is, at one end of the scale, you could have this could be your soulmate and your lifelong love.
Right.
At the other end of the scale, you could try to have a relationship, blow it, and no longer even be friends. Right? So there's a lot at stake when you try to date friends. Because a friendship is vulnerable to that thing we want to try and love. Right? I listen to you very differently if you're my friend than if I'm in love with you. Right? And so, when I'm your friend, you can tell me about all the excursions you had in the world, and I'm not going to be upset about it.
Right.
But if I'm your lady, you can't say that no more, right? And so you can't mix the two necessarily. Sometimes you can't. You can certainly always maintain a friendship, but when you start moving into that love stuff, that's when expectations start happening. I expect you to be this, to do this. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you say this? You should have had this. You should have been further by now. Why? You need to take care of that. You need to do this. And now you want to start manipulating my life. And all I wanted to do was just be in love with you.
Now it's a fight.
All I wanted to do was just have the good old friendship that we had. But now I can't have the good old friendship that we had because you kind of catty. Or you kind of weak. You kind of weak. You kind of catty. You're not really stepping forward. You lounging on your laurels a little bit. And so I started to see the real person. And there's some things there I started disliking and realized that we very well may be unequally yoked.
We friends.
And we should probably stay friends.
We gonna be friends.
Right. I don't know that I would risk a lifelong relationship with a friend to go into a love relationship, only if I felt like I was really running out of time. Right?
I like to say, listen to that.
I would have to be in a place where I'm saying, okay, you know what? We've been such good friends. I know I don't want to ruin that friendship, but if she what I think she is, like I've been thinking about all this time, man, this gonna be my real ride or die.
And that right there.
If nothing changes, I can make this lady my forever.
And that's what I want people to really look more like. Get past the sex. Because a lot of times that chemistry want to lead you to that next step. Because you didn't have the sex, but you feel like that chemistry with that person. But my whole thing is, if you really ain't feeling, you don't feel like this is going to happen, you still got something there with them before that ever happens. And they can respect you. Because a lot of people, when they friend you, they don't expect you to go there. That's what they want you right there.
Right.
So my whole thing, I don't got a problem staying there if that's where I'm at, and I'm cool with it too. But a lot of people want to come out there freeing on the backside on the low day, and that's where people feel like, no, I never looked at you like that. That's when they start having very nasty conversations. It ain't going like that because you are a person that knew you was freeing, but you was hoping for a better end. Okay, that's just one of the ones that's like a wolf waiting in the closet.
Yeah.
Wait, see, your little dirty behind gonna get caught behind a person that realize that, and you ain't gonna go nowhere where you think you are. I'm just telling you.
Women, I'm gonna tell you, a dude will wait you out 30 years.
Just get that moment.
He'll wait you out 30 years to get that moment. I promise you, he'll be your friend, be your friend. And then later on in life, one night, somehow y'all end up together, and he, you know what I'm saying?
He's smiling, cheek. I waited for this. This moment.
This is the moment.
I'll be like, man.
And he just might be a different person on the other side of that
I hope
session.
he is, because he waited too damn long to be doing all that. I mean, because you got to have a life, passion, dreams.
But listen, there's an active wait and then there's a passive wait. You know what I'm
saying? That's a hell of a pass.
Listen, you don't tell me you got some women out there, you be like, oh yeah, she'll come around. She'll come around.
Now, hold on.
It's gonna, yeah.
I would agree with it, but I didn't friend them. Remember.
You didn't friend them?
No, if I want you, I ain't friending you.
No?
Because once I friend you, I really don't want you.
Really?
Bro,
It's crazy what you talking about right now.
Man, what do you mean crazy? Hold on, let me help you out. There's certain people that you get around, your mouth is too much for me, and you aggravate the hell out of me. I'm not going to try to sleep with you when you annoy me.
Right.
You going to be friend, and you might not even be friend. Right. You might just be dethroned and ghost. But my whole thing is, I'm telling you, friend somebody, because that's all I can ever see of you.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that I keep kind of close, but we never go there.
Right.
That way, if the opportunity presents itself, I ain't shoot my shot, and it's not like she's going to be more offended because, this, that, or the other.
Right.
It's like, no, we never ever tried because,
I'm talking about the ones that you just, you hold out on.
We gonna get back with it after the break on that one because what I'm saying, you trying to get to the dirt.
Let's do that. It's time for us to take another break. I want you folks to stay tuned. We really, really hope you are enjoying this show. We're going to be right back with more of our talk with Jay right after this. Welcome back. I love this show, man. I love what we do, bruh. Everything is just always pointing toward understanding, and a better look at things, And I think we got our guest on right now.
I'll tell you what, man. We're about to go with him real quick, but I'm gonna tell you, man. Patience. The show and how I evolved, it teaches me patience because I want so much more. And it all comes in time. And everybody want it overnight. Everybody want instant success. And then I'm reading and realizing it comes with a process.
Yes.
For you to be able to handle it.
Yes.
Because a lot of times you can grab it and not achieve it.
Right.
Because it got to you without the ability to hold on to it.
Right.
You want to be able to hold on and then enjoy it. And that way you can make the most out of it. And that's where I feel like most failures come from. Instant fame. Instant money, and compared to knowledge.
Right.
And that way you can apply what you know. But the person I'm about to put up next to you now, I'm about to tell you right now, if he ain't have a great day, I don't know what this show gonna be like tonight. But we gonna hope he had a great day, but we gonna find out. Jeffrey, how you doing tonight, big baby?
Brother Jay, good to see you back in the saddle, man. How you feeling?
All right, man, I'm back there, bro. I understand you was not feeling the greatest. So how are you doing?
Man, I am back, better than ever. Brother Kraft, how you doing over there, sir?
Man, I'm fabuloso. Loving to hear you on the mic and looking forward to your segment, man. You said things are going well?
Man, yeah. You know, it's a little cold this morning, but the sky was clear, you know. I had a pretty good day. I got paid. You know, getting paid is always a good thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you know, my granddaughter, she loves me. And my mama, we had a great Mother's Day. She loves me, too. And my daughter, I love her. My son, I love him. And in spite of all of that, you know what time it is.
Sir.
It is time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions, I give you some answers from a man's point of view. Now, I got one reason for the habitually single woman and one reason for the habitually single man as to why you might be single, but before we get into that, here is my disclaimer. Now, see, what I'm going to talk about might not apply to you. If it doesn't apply to you, I don't want you to put your foot up in this shoe.
Okay.
But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes and walk around in them because you're about to learn something tonight. Ladies, you go first.
Okay.
All right, ladies, some of y'all are single simply because, and judging by the way you act, you don't know how beautiful you truly are. This is what I mean. See, you see femininity as a flawed, felonious falsehood wrapped around archaic morals and societal norms. See, you feel like you got to be masculine to get what you want. Stop it. Stop it. Have you ever seen a flower try to be a leaf? No. You want to know why? Because flowers are designed to attract the worker bee or the butterfly or the insect for the express purpose of producing fruit.
Yes.
The leaf can't do that. Now, the leaf does have some value in a different way, and the flower doesn't look at what the leaf does and competes with the leaf at all. The flower simply blooms. The flower simply creates life. It is essential for life to go on, and that is beautiful.
Yes.
But you running around trying to be a damn thug. And that's why your ass is sick.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I can tell when you wasn't feeling well, you wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, you somebody in the jaw tonight. You know? But that's true, man. A lot of women don't know how beautiful they are.
That's very true.
And because they don't know how beautiful they are, I don't know, they're just so full of costume, you know? They're so full of costume, you know? You know, we're like natural beauty, man. You know, they don't need all that. They don't need all them asses and tits. They don't need all that, you know, hair and all. They don't need all that I don't know, all that showing your body, and they don't need all that stuff, but they think they do. Because they just really don't know how beautiful they are, you know?
They want the attention.
Yeah. My father told me when I was a young man, he said, son, there's something beautiful about every single woman. He said, sometimes it's her hair, sometimes her eyes, sometimes her personality, sometimes it's the way she treats you. He said, but every single woman has something beautiful about her. And I began to look for that beauty. And it really kind of threw me on a path because I started liking ugly women after a while. Right? But I soon learned and came
Jeffrey hit his own on that one. I got you. We all been there.
Yeah, I was like, man, she's got a beautiful personality, but you know, she don't look for the shit, but I didn't know the difference. You know what I'm saying? So, with that one, I'm gonna hand it back over to you, brother.
Yeah, I don't know. Come
All right, fellas, don't think I'm letting y'all off the hook.
out. Sure, go ahead.
Fellas, you are next.
Oh, yeah.
All right, fellas, some of y'all are single simply because you don't know how to make your woman feel beautiful. This is what I mean. See, you will try to cudgel her confidence with your insecurities, or you will try to pummel her pride with your insensitive and your insincere piety. See, you will try to abuse her ambitions because of your laziness and your lack of a plan, or you will try to hinder her mental health with your pigsty of a personality you grew into, all because you ugly. Not that you are unpleasant to look at for her, but you got that ugly poison spirit, that ugly toxic manhood, that cankerous canker sore you call a personality full of ill will, full of malevolence, full of rancor, full of acrimony and malignancy. And you knew she was too good for you in the beginning. And she knew it too. And that's why she left your ass singing.
Yes, that is superb, man. And I don't feel convicted at all in this one. Not at all. But we know people, we know relationships where the men treat the women like shit. Yeah. Where they are constantly abusive, and they have no idea on how to make their woman feel beautiful. And we can see it from the outside looking in. And can you imagine what she is going through? Right? That, he said toxic manhood and ill will, What it comes down to is that there are men who bring their women down because they're down. And they don't oftentimes know how to come up. And their women, for some reason, fall into the trap of being with them and start to deal with that the pain of being brought down by a person who's really beneath them. What a powerful message, Brother Jeffrey. We'll hand it back over to you, man. Bye.
Okay, now, men and women, I need you to understand that there is beauty in who we are just as we are. We don't have to do a whole lot of nothing. We don't really have to lay out and tan. We don't really have to put on any type of tanning spray. We don't really have to do anything to our hair. We can just show up and show out in natural form and still be kissed by the sun. That melanin runs deep, but for some reason, we keep finding every ugly thing out about the other one and trying to exploit it, or casting aspersions onto all women or all men because what one person did at one particular time in your long-ass life. I need you to get a damn grip. Understand something, ladies and gentlemen. There are a whole lot of things we have in common. And there are just a few things that we have that are differences between us. But overall, they're imaginary differences. Because we got women being successful. We got men being successful. What we need to do is make the family successful. And when you got that family success, well, that cures that man that grew up without his father syndrome. And that in turn cures that woman that grew up without her father and mother syndrome. And when you cure that syndrome, we got holistic children growing up to make healthier neighborhoods. And when we have healthier neighborhoods, well, we got economic wealth right there along with it. So I'm going to need y'all to quit playing around with it. Quit arguing over small things and small hurts and leaving our future in the hands of others. Let's go ahead and work together in the same direction. We can pull or we can push as long as we're going in the same direction. And we're going to be all right. That's all I got.
That's all I got. Woo. That is awesome, bruh. I mean, woo, that is so awesome. My goodness, bruh. I mean, let me just go ahead and get some insight on tonight's topic, man. It goes like this, Brother Jeffrey. Should you go into a relationship with a childhood friend or just stay friends?
Okay. Now let's talk about demographics here. Most times people end up with people in their proximity. I mean, it just is what it is. That is a global phenomenon. People who live in a village tend to marry people from that village more often than not. Even when you move away, you tend to meet people in your sphere of influence and form relationships with them. So if you've got a friend that you've known since high school, there are some known factors that makes getting to know them more, that helps it go by expeditiously, whereas you got somebody you don't know nothing about their history. So if you know this person, you know where they come from, that's familiar ground.
Yes.
That might be a good way to go. However, at the same time, if you know where they come from, and you know where they come from, if they haven't grown from that, then you know right off top, right off rip, that's just somebody you're going to keep at a certain level when it comes to them getting close to you. All I got to say to wrap this up, just use some common damn sense. If he was a thug back then and he's still a damn thug now, hell no. If she was loose back then and she even looser now, but you want a woman from a purity clause, hell no. Use your common sense, make a good decision. We too grown to be making dumbass decisions at this stage in the game. And that's all I got.
Wow. And that's all I got. But hey, but your pitch went high like Prince. Hell no.
Hell yeah. That was a high note there, boy. That was a high note.
That was a high note, bro. You mean that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They mean
You
that.
weren't playing on that one.
Yeah, I love where you went with that, bruh. You know what it reminded me of altogether in this subject is that, you know, it really comes down to common sense. You already know a lot about this person.
Right.
You should know enough to at least know if you should entertain the
Make the
situation
judgment,
or
right.
not.
Make the judgment
And
call.
that's key. That's key to this whole discussion. So, always appreciate you, Brother Jeffrey. You bring it so hard, my friend. Any parting words for us?
Brother Jay, glad you pulled through. Brother Kraft, good to see you, man.
Yes,
And
sir.
looking forward to talk. Oh, I'm going to be out of the country next week, so I'm going to miss out on next week. But as soon as I'm back, I'll be glad to hook you fellas up again.
All right, look at him.
All right, we
That man
appreciate it, man.
traveling.
Yeah, he traveling, you know, Big Willie style. We
Oh,
know how
that's
you
what he do.
Yeah. Listen, have a great trip, man. Appreciate what you do, and God bless you. We'll talk to you next time.
All right, take care, fellas.
All right, man.
All right. And once again, folks, we have heard from the good Reverend Dr. Jeffrey.
He did that one.
He did that one tonight. I mean, he always put it down. How much time we got, boo? Yeah, he always put it down, right?
I heard.
I mean, look how he attacked. He said, women just don't know how beautiful they are. And then he said that men don't know how to make their women feel beautiful. And then he came back and closed it with, we are all beautiful, just the way we are.
And I think a lot of people have a hard time with that.
A lot of people have a hard time with that.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because we don't comment enough. I would say I've seen some people that was in a natural state, and I didn't comment. I didn't want to make them feel like it was a sexual advancement or anything of that nature, but I thought they looked real good in a natural state.
Yeah.
By me not saying that, later on they come back with a lot of extra. And I knew it didn't bring the attention that I knew how good she looked when she was in her natural state.
Yeah. You know that there's a phenomenon, man, sometimes with women that they will look better in their daytime clothes than they might look when they get ready to go out.
Mm.
You ever seen one who just,
Oh,
she's
wow.
just gorgeous? You know, and she looks fine, you know, when she get dressed up to go out, but you just like her, you know what I'm saying? In
She
a
do the
sweats
extra.
or jeans or a work outfit, you know, she just looks super good, you know? And then she go and put the makeup on and she looks nice, you know, but that natural beauty, man, you know, the beauty that we see as men on a daily basis is what we like.
I think
You know
what
what
we're
I'm
trying to say is we might need to be giving more compliments and letting people know when we see them
I
in a
think you're
natural
right, Jay.
state.
I think you're
We
right.
need to let them know because I like to say the extra umbrellas, the eyelashes, they call them umbrellas. Okay, all that extra stuff, some of it's a distraction. But I know for a fact when I see somebody without all that, they ain't getting no play. Nobody say anything, and I really feel like I want to say a whole lot more.
We gonna do
Y'all
that.
are looking good. Let's get you back to being
There
good.
you go. And we're going to go ahead and take our next break here with Bar Talk with Jay. Y'all stay tuned. We got a lot more for you. We'll be right back. Right after this. about that message.
Man, the
It's
message
love.
is deep, bro.
Yeah.
Because love is something that I like to say has changed through time, and everybody's not seeing it the same.
Everybody's not seeing
You
it the
know,
same. Yeah.
to keep saying it and then you don't show it, I get confused. Why do you keep talking it and you don't show it in any of your actions?
Yeah.
But I'm supposed to believe it. That
doesn't make any sense, does it?
to me.
How and see, this is something that's really been prevalent in my thought process here lately. How am I supposed to experience your love other than feeling it? Right? I need to feel your love and I need to experience your love. What you say isn't as loud as what you do.
Come on, man.
And how you act and how you treat me says way more than any words you could say. Don't tell me you love me and then mistreat me. Don't tell me you love me and then leave me out to dry. Don't tell me you love me and you cheat on me. Don't tell me you love me and then you act like you might not want to be with me. Right?
That's confusing.
It's very, it is confusing to the person who hasn't achieved wisdom yet. But the person who achieves wisdom is like, hey, what you saying is different than what you
Not
doing.
even adding up.
Right? I've been in love several times before, so you can't tell me what it feels like. I know what love feels like.
So we call you the love doctor.
What?
you done love me this time. No, all right, little doctor.
I mean, it don't take but 2 or 3 to understand the game. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I went through several. I want my ass single.
But listen. If anybody try to tell you that they love you, but you're not feeling it, is that love?
No.
It's not really love.
I'm not feeling it, I don't see it, no.
Yeah, it's not really love. And either that means you're unequally yoked, or that means that you're running game.
Or different love language. Way different.
Way different.
Way
love
different.
Yeah.
I ain't they talking about
So different that you can't connect.
Nope.
There's 5 areas of the love language, 4 or 5 areas.
You
of
ain't
love
hitting no
language,
none of them.
and you gotta at least hit 2 of each other's, right?
You like
I think
that,
one is
yeah.
physical touch, one is receiving gifts, one is acts of service, one is I think they gotta be told.
Act of service, is that sexual?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I guess it could be, I guess.
What
but
was that, see?
act of service is like bringing someone gifts, or act of service really is, hey, I've been working hard all day. Why don't you clean up the kitchen? And if you come and clean up the kitchen before you tell them, they'll be like, oh, you really care about me. You know what I mean? Act of service is like you help me do the dishes, you help me do the laundry, you help me take care of affairs. You step in and say, hey, I found us a better insurance rate. Why don't we go ahead and do this? And it's doing something for people that is of value.
Right. Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah. Listen, that makes a huge difference to me because I like to be shown love. Don't just tell me you do.
Oh my goodness.
I don't hear when you tell me that you love me. I'm kind of numb to that, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but I don't want to hear the words. I want to feel it and I want to see it. And if I don't, then the words really
don't mean nothing.
Never really mean nothing.
Right?
What it ultimately is a guidance. It's almost like a clock hand. And if the clock ain't lining up, then it's time to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Clock fell apart.
Yeah.
You over there, I'm over here. This clock just broke up.
Exactly.
I understand that.
Exactly. And there's some times where people just can't satisfy the level of love that you want.
And I agree with that.
That you need. They even may be trying.
I like to say everybody's love is not going to be the same anyway.
It's not the same.
And then a lot of times they want it back how they give it.
Right.
And I'm used to giving it the way I'm used to giving it.
Right.
And they don't want to accept it that way. They want it their way. And that's a challenge. But I like to say that's something that you can fill in if you're caring enough to do so.
Yeah. And it's not easy though.
No.
Because here's what happens. If you are expressing your love language and it's not meeting my needs, then I have to tell you that you're not meeting my needs. I have to communicate it in some way.
Right.
And when I communicate it, now you're going to be attempting to satisfy my needs, and I don't know if it's going to come across genuine or not.
I'd like to say no matter how genuine or not it is, it still can be confusing to them because they ain't looking for it. They're not expecting you to say that because they expressed themselves, but it didn't come to a way where you received it the way they wanted you to.
Yeah.
And that's where that confusion comes from.
But if somebody complained that you're not loving them, for example, enough or hard enough or well enough, you're not showing your love, and then you start trying to show your love, there is a chance that you're doing it for you, but more than likely you're doing it for them.
Yeah.
Right?
At that point, you ain't being yourself.
And when you do something out of your nature for someone else, over time it'll have a tendency to be work. It'll have a tendency to be hard. It'll have a tendency to be heavy, especially if it's potentially incongruent with the way you want to do it. You're like, I gotta go and do it. I gotta buy flowers again. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a flower buyer, but I'll buy her some flowers. That's what she likes. That's what she wants. And sometimes that's love. That's love. Doing what other people want. Doing what other people need. Giving of yourself with what they want, what they need. But over time, it may start to create, in some situations, a bitterness inside.
That's what it tends to do.
Yeah, you'll start getting mad at yourself, right? Or when it comes up and she expects it, you'll be like, all right, whatever, I'll do it. And it just probably, in some cases, it just won't ever come from a place of genuineness. And you don't want that kind of love. You don't want love that's, rehearsed love,
That's TV.
Yeah.
I ain't into TV. I'm all into doing it. We gonna rehearse together. We gonna do this together. Because TV gives you a false perception. I want a real perception.
Yes.
And that's how you really learn a person. Boo, what we got? Somebody put something out there, man. What they put out there for us?
Okay, yeah, I got it right here. You got it right there, Jay? I want to read it, but we don't quite understand what it is. So
we need help on this.
If you're listening to this, this is for Cortland Smith. Says, do you have something for the married man that's going through the same thing as singles? And what would a married man be going through that is the same as singles?
Yeah, you got to clarify that.
Yeah,
because we don't want to speculate and give you wrong advice. Because I'm thinking that you trying to do this outside the marriage. And this, I will be quick to tell you, I've done enough stuff in my life to realize that that's going to cause more damage than any good. And I know a lot of people going to be like, whatever, you done went through yours. I'm never going to put somebody in a compromising position.
Yeah.
And again, this is a talk radio show. So for him, it might just be to spark up a conversation. There's a lot of people out there doing all kind of crazy shit. That don't mean I got to promote it or agree with it.
Yeah.
And don't go by the stuff I put out there and I post. Because you be like, Jay, you just as crazy. I'm crazy, but I promise you, I've been through enough stuff that I don't want nobody to go through the hurt and the pains that I've been through.
Yeah.
When we can make better decisions. Because if somebody next to you love you, then don't be worried about them. Understand the one you with. Because when you detach from that one, I promise you it's going to be a painful situation for that detachment. Because a lot of people are just looking for the next one.
Now listen, here's the guy who's always talking about the single life and the single world. He's telling a married man, hang in there, brother. Whatever you got to do to hang in there, hang in there. And that may not necessarily be what Brother Cortland is talking about. By the way, Brother Cortland, if you're with us right now, we want you to rephrase your question so that we can better answer it and tend to it. Go ahead and rephrase it, and we'll try to get to it in the next segment.
But yeah, Craig. Yeah, I'm saying it now. You know why?
Why?
Because I want people to be happy. When I go through something, it's just a lesson. I don't want everybody to have to go through an unnecessary lesson. A lot of times we don't recognize what we with. So we try to do other things. We get promotions. We get things. Your ego get big. Now I'm talking from my self-experience. I don't know about everybody else. When you get there, you forget the one you was with. So they're irritating you on other things, and this other person is giving you compliments. And of course, I'm going on the side of the compliments while she over here digging in me because she know me.
Yeah,
she knows I need to be doing this. And I'm like, man, hey, who cares? So I went over there. But when the lesson is over, I realized mistakes was done and I own up to them. Yeah,
and if anybody really heard what Jay was talking about, he's just talking about his experience as a married man, and that he does not want to, what he did was cross the line. And so, his boo out here, who might have been an old friend, maybe old, high school, college buddy, whatever, he started cheating with her a little bit. And he recognized that, she's over here giving him compliments and hey, whatever. Mm-hmm. And the woman who's at home who really needs his attention is not getting the attention that she needs. And so rather than fight about the things that's going to bring harmony and resolution in our relationship, I end up taking the back door and going to see this other chick. And so now all my energy is spread thin and divided, right? So, it's just not a healthy way to live. I don't think that's what Brother Courtney was referring to. I actually know this brother now. It's one of my frat brothers, my large brothers. And so he's going to reframe the question, I'm sure, and we'll be able to
and we'll answer it.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
Yeah.
don't be offended by mine, because again, when it's interpretation, I just gave an interpretation where I thought it could be. And if it's not there, hey, don't get me wrong, you still got it for anybody else. Because one of the things I can say is no mistakes, okay? As he wrote it, it is still for somebody that might be thinking that way.
Yeah.
So I don't look at it as a mistake, but I want to make sure I answer his question for you can keep on asking questions. And anybody else that's watching the show, it is for us to have interaction. I just don't take a lot of call-ins because I don't want to distract from what we're trying to do.
Okay.
But I do want to answer some of the questions that you have because we are open.
Okay.
To stimulate your mind.
There you go. So, back to the question at hand.
Okay.
Should you go into a relationship with a childhood friend or just stay friends?
Okay, I answered the last time. You didn't give your opinion on it.
Well, my opinion is, it goes like this. It's going to be all about timing.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Right?
Time.
It's got to be. See, I think the universe has got to line up a whole bunch of things.
Oh, Lord.
Right?
We talking about y'all humping.
No, we're not talking about just humping. We're talking about a relationship. Right. So,
Got some humping in.
now, see, here's one thing that we haven't talked about.
What's that?
Humping your friends. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I think that might be okay in some parts of the world. That if you got an old, high school friend, an old hometown friend, and she come into your world, and if it's meant to be, touch one another.
Oh.
Touch each other heavily.
I ain't see you coming with that one.
Ain't nothing wrong.
Okay,
Ain't nothing wrong with
You
heavy
got
touching.
You got it.
I don't want nobody to blow their opportunity, right? But there probably is a place, and let's cover this as we on these
That's
grounds.
right, man. You on that path, bro.
There's probably a place where when you see that old childhood friend, that the chemistry, at least for the evening, could be very hot.
Okay.
Maybe you're drinking together, you at the high school reunion, you just happen to see each other, you're in town, whatever, and you decide to have some drinks, go out, and next thing you know, some loving go down. Some of the heavy touching go down. We know how it works. It
happens a lot.
You used to open up for me, back in the day, so I imagine you still doing the same thing.
Wow.
And next thing you know, we end up my place, your place, hotel, and I wonder if you might be closing the door for a potential relationship because you have that sexual relationship that night or that weekend. Would you be, is there a chance that that y'all end up having sex and it kind of blows the opportunity for a relationship?
I've been through a situation similar to that one, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it lasted for a very long time, and it's one of the ones that you have to keep in front of you because of the fact that we were so strong as friends, and we had this little chemistry on the side, and then we acted on the chemistry, and it was fire. Okay. A lot of times you get to a point where you don't really get into the person the way you should. You don't. That's the point that I wanted to make, Jay. Because you have sex so early, you don't really get into the person like you should. Because you already had that friendship, and you already felt like that was already established. So when a fire happened, and you had a fire, you think that's gonna carry you on. So I stopped working. Now that's a friend. This is a person that was there for you, voted for you, was riding with you. They was gonna do it with if they didn't have sex with you. And you don't stop riding for a person that was there for you, but you get lackadaisy because all this doesn't transpire and you're not used to it this way. Okay? And I'm speaking for myself. So you have to watch when you do these things because I build things up. I'm used to building them up in a certain way. And when it comes a different way, I might not process it the right way. And I really feel like that friend got hurt over the whole ordeal I hope we still are close. You know, of course, through time and talking, we have not been, because I have to give space.
Yeah.
You know, when you start putting it on a person and they feel a certain way, I have to respect the fact that they got feelings and emotions, and if we got to calm it down, you can't just keep talking to them like that friend, because at that point they're hurt, and I had to push away and respect that was my, and I actually hurt it over the fact that I couldn't call her, because I felt I should always be able to, and that's when I realized my own wrong.
There's something about, let me tell you what's coming up for me right now.
What you
Something
got?
about where you had this friendship
Mhm.
and you had this chemistry and it was dazzling, right? And then it ascended, it escalated a little bit, and now you got sex with a friend,
Yeah.
right? And so after that, something changes, right?
Mhm.
Like, like you're now, you gotta say, okay, baby. Now you say the word baby. Now you're expressing terms of endearment.
Right.
Now you want to touch on her.
Right.
Now,
I mean, you already touched them.
yeah, I mean that's like from then forth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Rather than just being her friend and hanging out with her, you thinking about the agenda of, okay, at the end of the afternoon, let's go knock it down, right?
Mhm.
Let's go have sex. And so now the friendship is beginning to diminish.
And the
Because-
relationship's starting to pick up.
If there's going to be a relationship there.
And
Now,
that's where the problem comes
you
from.
may have had great sex with your friend, but she is not the friend who you ever considered a relationship with. And she might not understand that after sex. Right? She was like, I gave in to you, and now you acting like you don't want me no more, like you act like you don't like me. That's the same way you treated that other chick that you was telling me about. That's the same way you, that's what you're doing.
They be knowing everything.
They know everything.
Because you don't talk to them. So that's what y'all fail to realize. Crab hit on one that y'all be paying attention to.
Yeah.
A real friend, you tell everything to.
Yes.
So they got all kind of stuff on you. And you know it. But you don't think about that when you enter that other realm. As long as you kept sex out, she couldn't use none of that against you. Then you hit it, she feel it, she be like, okay, now I know why she treated you. And I'm like, hold on, what you didn't tell me that when we was talking before, but it's because of what you gave her that extra experience.
You gave her that D.
Oh my God.
You gave her that D. And listen, we all know, men and women, I believe, have come to know that as soon as sex comes into the picture, the emotion barriers are down and it just flows, and you just might not like the way it goes.
All day long.
Yeah, just might like the way it goes.
It's an equation that you might not been waiting for.
Yeah. So, great dialogue, Jay. Listen, it's time for us to take a next break. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this. Welcome back.
Man, it's fire up in the studio tonight.
It is, man. It is, because we're talking tonight about should you go into a relationship with a childhood friend or just stay friends. And that question can really be expanded upon, right?
Okay.
Let's just say when you were in high school, your best friend dated this young lady.
Okay.
She was absolutely beautiful. 20 years later, you meet her.
Okay.
How you doing? Chopping it up.
Right.
Now the two of you are attracted to one another. And it might be, your tight boy's ex-wife.
Wow.
Right? It doesn't have to be 20 years ago. It might be somebody who you knew among other people recently. Right? And, the question is, should you just stay friends, or should you worry about offending the people of the past? I mean, if you go back and, let me ask you this, Jay, would you go back and date your ex-wife's best friend?
No. But I can tell you, I had a situation where I actually dated one of my type boys' girl.
Okay.
When we was in high school, he dated her, and they never did anything, but we was always around each other, and I was hollering at some of her friends, and through time, and I'm talking like 20 years later,
Right.
I ran across her, and we talking, and we to a point where we getting real close. And she named another one of my boys that I hung with. She was, and his name was Cameron Powell. Yeah, I know Cameron. I'm like, oh, Cameron, boy. We talking it up. I'm like, wait a minute, how she know? And she broke all the way down. She had talked to one of my boys. I was like, oh my. So, but my whole thing is, we years apart, right? I mean, we grown. And what I love about being grown is you can make a decision, but at that point, we felt like kids. We was like, wait a minute. I didn't see her voice change, not that much, but her body, she wasn't the same person. I'm a different person. And it's like, wow. So when we at the point we was more like covered up now. You don't even want to, and we didn't end. We ended up coming back later because at that point, it was just like overwhelming of how close we were and we didn't know it. She felt something from me, and she had a vibe from me, but it was a vibe from the past.
Right.
And it was never a vibe that we had then. Never looked at her like that, never wanted her. But for the fact my boy, like, I never thought about her like that, really. So years later, she's single, I'm just talking, and next thing I know, oh, wow. And then it transpired. And you be like, did I see this coming? In life, a lot of stuff you don't always see coming.
Right.
But again, I had to go back to my boy. Out of respect. I was like, yo, guess what happened? Before anything went down, I had to let my boy know. He was like, man, that was back. Man, we 10th grade,
Oh, yeah, he too far back.
He was like, what, it doesn't matter to me. It's my friendship with my boy.
Okay. But listen, 20 years later?
Bro, it's 20 years later. That's my dog. If you say you roll with somebody, you roll with them.
Yeah.
You don't say, oh, because of this many years, and you disrespect who you roll with. That's my boy. He got my back. I got his.
Right.
So if we got each other's back, why I can't tell him? Okay. Why I can't talk to him? I didn't see this.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I went back. He wasn't hurt. Man, boy, stop. Whatever. Blow the back out.
That's really good.
His whole thing was, you came to me.
So let me ask you this. We got two couples.
Uh-huh.
You're a couple. You raising your kids. Mm-hmm. You and your wife are raising your kids.
Right.
Y'all are friends with another couple raising their kids. Kind of raise your kids together. Over the years, 10, 15 years, kids gone. And somehow, the both of you end up in divorces.
Mm-hmm.
Few years pass, y'all end up seeing each other in the grocery store, whatever. Hey, how you been? How the kids? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what you doing with your life? Just chilling. Next thing you know, you sitting at a bar, having a dinner, chopping it up.
Mm-hmm.
Start liking each other, talking to each other a little bit. Is that allowable?
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I feel if I met you when I was with my wife, and we meet later, I'm not gonna be that interested. I'm gonna tell you why. It can be conflict.
Okay.
And my whole thing is, life shouldn't be about conflict. At that time, we couldn't. I'm not saying I wouldn't completely. It depends. It got to be a heavy vibe. It got to be heavier than the average because I already kind of knew you when we both couldn't be. We was with somebody else, and I need to make sure it's not a settling because again, we're more comfortable because she seen me and how I treated mine, and I seen how she treated. So it's like, man, she a loving woman. She do right. So I got the insight on her, but that don't mean that's gonna be the same her. That's when she was with him. Your insight might be your downside.
That's very true.
It could be a downside, but my whole thing is you got to weigh.
Do you have a relationship with her? Do you have to go back and talk to your boy?
I mean, on that one, I ain't going back to talk to the ex-wife. That's for sure.
Not the ex-wife,
but I'm just saying, we was married. I wouldn't. But with a situation with my boy, yes.
You go back and talk to him.
If it's my boy, and I know that they was together, and again,
y'all just raised your families together.
Right.
You hung out for years.
And I really feel like it could be a disrespect.
Okay.
By me not even going to him, it's a disrespect because he's expecting more from me, just like I expect more from him. And just like with me wanting to go that direction, I ask myself, do I even want that headache?
And so watch this. Let's just say your boy's cool. It's been years. They're divorced now. They've been divorced, 5-6 years. and you meet up with his ex-wife, that you feel the need to go and talk to him.
Automatically.
If you were feeling her, if you liked her, if you was wanting to holler at her, she was, y'all was vibing a little bit, you felt the need to go back and talk to him. Right? Right?
Right.
Okay. That's very honorable.
Right.
That's not most people.
No, I know. And I'm going to give you one even bigger. If he have a problem with it, I'm dead.
You're done.
I'm going to tell you why. If you care for him, the love you have for your boy should be the strongest love you should have also for your woman. And if I have a problem with my boy over a situation, how can I truly love her knowing I'm hurting him?
You can't.
You let me know you shallow as hell because you're going to dog him and you're going to dog her because you don't care. I cared enough to go to him. If I care enough to ask and he gives me an answer I don't care to hear, which is, no, bro, I don't believe you, we'll talk to her, I have to be strong enough to be able to translate that back to the other person and let them know it ain't worth it to me. My life shouldn't be about misery.
But let me ask you this.
I don't like all that.
What if he's just a little short-sighted?
Bro,
what if he was mistreated? You saw over the years he ain't treated like shit anyway.
First
He
of
ain't give
all,
a shit about
if
her.
he my brother and we rolling,
Yeah.
I doubt if all that's happening because we encourage one another.
Yeah.
So if we encourage one another, I'll help stop that without even an interest in her.
Okay.
Because that's my boy.
I love the defense that you're taking.
Yeah,
Jay,
so
but
now it's my boy, and now
listen,
I'm about to put us in a bad situation.
In small town USA,
Mhm.
this is a major issue.
Okay.
Okay? This is a major issue because there's only so many people today, there's only so many people with like-minded whatever in your small communities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you from Columbus, or you from, where Barbara from?
Macon,
If
Georgia.
you're from Macon, Georgia, if you're from Panama City, Florida, if you're from small town USA, there's a lot of this going on. Imagine living in the same town 30 years and you got two ex-husbands. Like it's gonna come up. You got two ex-wives. It's gonna come up. You're gonna.
I came from Akron, Ohio. You can't get no damn smoke.
Exactly.
I've been through it, but that's why I have to have the conversation.
So here's the thing. My concern is that
What's that?
they don't have anything to do with each other anymore. And you are saying that I'm going to give up my potential long-term love with her, that she and we've grown to a different place than maybe he is. But because he might be jealous of me with her now, that you're allowing his opinion to take you away from that. Now he your dog. That ain't got nothing to do with it. But dog, you done with her. She's trash now, right?
Well, hold on.
I'm just trying to understand the situation.
I gotta understand it better, as in, that's my boy.
I'm being
and I love the devil's advocate because I'm gonna tell you all day long, my friendship ain't based on just the boys. This is a dude that I would look at as my brother. Okay. So if he loved her and he took care of her and he showed me love and he gives me hold on, he gives me that he's not good with this, it should be based off the fact that me and him.
Right. So watch this. What if y'all really didn't know each other that well? Y'all just used to hang out as a family.
I mean, that's
the framework I'm talking about.
Right, okay.
If that's your dog, that's a different story.
Right.
But it's just a couple that used to hang out with. Y'all know each other. You went to many barbecues
together. I ain't got no loyalty
together.
to a regular friend. I'm gonna tell you something. My whole thing is I create my circle, and when my circle is made, it is not to offend, and it's always to encourage. Okay. If you are a friend or outsider, my whole thing is I really don't know you. So I'm not going to just come to you because that's not my thing. I will probably examine whatever went on, so I can make the best judgment to see if it's right for me.
Right.
But I'm not coming asking you shit because that was y'all's. And I don't feel like that's messy to me.
Right.
Because now you going to think it's going to be a little man-on-man type. No, my brother. I'm dealing with her only. Now, if y'all still got something, that's something she need to deal with before she really get with me. Because she ain't going to be able to handle both. I'm telling you that now. If she still got feelings for him and you mess with me, I'm going to mess your head up.
Right.
And the only thing it's going to get is that person hurt. Don't get him to swell his chest up for what he can't handle. Sit over there, keep your heart beating. Fuck with me, it's going to change your life. stay there, and she might need to understand that. Because she really want him, she don't need to deal with me.
That's right.
And that's
If
the
she
problem
really want
with
him.
him.
She
Yes.
don't need to deal with me.
No.
That's good. Now, and what I'm attempting to do here, I'm just hosting a show here, and I'm trying to keep the dialogue,
Go ahead, man.
moving, because
I got it.
these are all decisions that we're all going to have to make.
Oh, yes.
You know,
So that's what
my type boy, 10 years later, my type boy's girl might holler at me as a friend, and we might be attracted to one another, and we might move forward. And, I'm hearing a very, very keen value system of, hey, it doesn't matter if they're done, that he still has some portion of entitlement over her in my life. And that's a very honorable thing. That's not normal, Jay.
It's not,
because
but you gotta
again,
look
in
at-
small town USA, you can, hey, you know what? You might be unhappy, but I'm finna find happiness with this person. You
Right.
couldn't, I can,
Correct.
and hey,
You
know,
would be surprised the secrets that really goes on that we don't know.
There's a lot of them, Jay.
And then you, by going to your type boy and knowing this is, and not just the type boy, your boy or the person you want to call your brother, them the main ones, not just your friends, because this is not a friend type deal. Anybody I go to, that's gonna be somebody like I look at you. You like my brother, you
Yeah,
know.
that makes sense for me.
I'm riding with you.
Yeah, I'm
And
riding
if
with
you
you.
tell me something, hey man, I date her. I don't want. My whole thing is, it's too many people out there for I can even start.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is, I do it at the beginning.
Right.
So it's easy to break away from because you said it could be the love of your life. I wouldn't know that.
'Cause you
But
don't wanna
I
go
know
there.
for a fact that I asked you early.
Excellent, excellent. Listen, what a fabulous dialogue, because we're all going to need to display some great levels of integrity in our relationships, and that's what we're talking about. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay and close out this show. Y'all stay tuned.
Right after this. Welcome back with Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome back, folks.
Man, I tell you, Kraft, you always like to hit people over the head, man.
I like to get that.
In that different way where one of the things I can tell you real quick is to bring it back down. Bar Talk with Jay was to get you to start conversating and get you there, and then Minecraft was to take you to a better place. My whole thing is to have a conversation is just one thing, but to be able to have spiritual guidance is a blessing.
Yes.
And if you want to see how God works in mysterious ways, and one of them is not knowing how he gets you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you so used to what you do, he can do something totally different and change your whole life. And that's what I'm hoping is happening right now when we do this. Because I want to talk about common things, but then I want to keep you in mind for a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be easy, and it's something that I ain't gonna lie, I'm building my own formula. Why? I don't need to copy somebody else. When you working with him, and I'm talking about the good Lord, when you working with him show you better than somebody else can tell you.
Absolutely, bro. And
Understand.
you know what that video was really all about, in long story short, is when we start attacking our goals and our purpose and our agendas and our things that we want to get done in life, there's always going to be something to hurdle to get in the way.
Right.
There's always going to be a problem or a challenge or a roadblock or something that's going to start getting in our way, aggravating us. And it's going to make us feel like we can't get to the outcome. We can't get to the goal. We can't achieve the dream that we have. It's going to make us feel like we aren't enough. We don't have enough. We're not strong enough. We're not smart enough, etc. And we need willpower to get through those times. That no matter what's going on, I'm going to get this done. And I'm going to fight through it. I don't care what's happening. This is still the mission. Remember, I throw the rope, I attach it to my dream, and I pull myself directly toward the dream. And and pulling myself mean, hey, you don't know how you're going to get the funding for this next part of the project. You don't know if you organize well enough. You're not competing at a high enough level to get new business. Whatever that roadblock happens to be, whatever that problem is, you got to fight through it and attack it, because that's the only way you're going to get through it, and you need willpower to do that.
I do.
So, I love that. I love that segment right there.
Powerful.
So we are preparing to close out this show. We got about 12 minutes. And tonight's subject, we're talking about, should you go into a relationship with a childhood friend or just stay friends? I'm of the notion that the safe route is probably the longest route. If you've been there, friend, stay there, friend. Right? I think it should be a heavy decision. It should be a really big decision to change someone from a friend, from a long-term friend, to trying to be their lover and their special someone. Because you risk the chance of losing all that friendship. And friends are so hard to come by. A genuine friendship, somebody who you really care for, somebody who will be willing to listen, somebody who will hit you right between the eyes, somebody who will, be your confidant, be your coach, that's hard to replace. And when you start trying to get into a loving relationship, you lose sight of the friendship. Mm-hmm. That's why so many relationships fail. Because when you start becoming in love, you lose sight of friendship. Mm-hmm. Friendship becomes kind of invisible. And now it becomes something else. And I don't even know what else you might call it, but when you lose a friendship, you lose something very, very significant. So, my notion here is that if you're going to entertain a relationship with an old friend, make sure you are very serious about what you're doing. Don't risk something long haul for something very temporary. Okay. Now, Barbara has shared here some reasons that your childhood sweetheart makes a great love, makes a great adult love. Okay, and she's coming from the perspective of childhood sweetheart, just like in the question. But there's many other examples. It doesn't necessarily have to be childhood. It could be, just several years ago. But one of the things that she says is that that he knows your family. Let's say y'all all grew up in the same town. You went to the prom together. You just knew each other for years. Your families knew each other. Your families got along, right? Mm-hmm. You got an idea of where they came from. Okay. And that can be a really good thing to have. That's a great set of knowledge that if you meet somebody out in the world of business when you're 25 after you get out of college, they could have come from anywhere. Mm-hmm. And they could have gone through any number of things. And their family could be crazy. Half of them locked up, the other half of them on drugs, and all the women get nice and plump and round with bad attitudes when they start to get old.
With multiple
children that they ain't being taken care of. It's nice to know their family, right?
I like that.
One of the other things she says is you know what the other is thinking. You know kind of how they think. Y'all used to hang out at the same spots, kind of the same people. You all like going to the beach, or you like watching movies, or you like you worked in the same field.
Can I have some fun tonight?
Go ahead.
We're gonna do something different, y'all. At the last minute, I'm gonna give you the opposite on everything you say. So we're gonna go back to the first one.
Okay.
He know your family. That could be all bad from the beginning. Hey, they know all the jacked up stuff about you.
Right.
So why in the world would you want to go with that? Because they know your family. That means it's easy to pull up old archives and you're a different person.
Yes.
That right there can hurt you.
Yes.
Let's go with the one you just said. They know what you're thinking. They've been around your ass too much. Now, they know when you lying, and you know you got lying in you. Most people do. I like to say we don't like to try, but we do it too often. And that person knows you too well, and it's easy to call your behind out.
Yeah.
And you trying to finesse a person that know your lies because they know you.
That's good, Jay.
Watch yourself.
That's
I'm
good,
telling
Jay.
You're going to get burned on that one.
Because I remember as a young man, I remember there were women in my hometown who, out of the years of, going out, hanging out in Panama City, I ended up one night with them in my car. And, I might have touched it, hit it or whatever. And, and the next few days, she tried to act like she want to be in a relationship.
Yep.
But I can't be in a relationship with her because I know too much.
I know it ain't worth it.
I know what you did. I know you was out in the car with somebody 2 months ago.
Right.
One of my boys.
That's how I knew I could get it.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, y'all ain't heard that from me.
Okay.
Okay, what's the next one?
Let me see. Maybe they were one of the first persons that you were physically attracted to.
Okay,
right?
The first person you was physically attracted to when you was young and dumb. And I'm only saying dumb because you didn't know all your feelings and emotion, but you knew all about them. Because, you know, I like to say when you're young, you're more pure. You get older, you get contaminated.
Well, I think they get wise.
You're wise, but you can be contaminated because people tell you lies.
Yeah.
A lot of lies being told. So we're going to go back to when you was young, you're more pure. So now you got a more pureness compared to when you get older. It's going to be a more push from different points of view. Because now I can either stay in that aspect back then, or I can grow because of society and anything else that you got to accept. And that's why I say it's a big difference. So that might not be as helpful as you think, because that's an old mindset compared to a new.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah. You know, just briefly going back to that discussion about dating. You're living in a small town, and you know, let's say many years passed, that so you're you and your type boy, and you and your girl, and your type boy and his girl together, and years later they divorced, had kids, you know what I'm saying, they hadn't talked, seen each other, whatever, and then years later you end up meeting her and talking to her and have dated, and you're like, hey man, I need to go back and make sure my boy is satisfied. You know, that's one of those situations where you know, if you feel like you're running out of time, and one of the things she has here is geography is in your favor, right? And you don't get a chance to go to Atlanta, you know, every month to hang out and meet new people. Right. But you found something in the old friend, right? The old friend that was married to your type boy. That in a lot of cases, I believe those are relationships that they try to keep under the cover for a while. You know, yeah. They try to make sure that they're gonna be able to make it before it comes out into the open. You know, before they start letting the world know about it. And you can't blame people for trying. You know, for trying a little bit. You know, because bygones is bygones. But if you have an affinity for your friend, then you obviously need to do the right thing and go back and let them know what's happening. You know. So, but you know, Barbara is tying, like the next one she says here. The reason your childhood sweetheart makes a great adult love, is that maybe it was the person that was probably your first kiss.
Now let's go with that one. I love that one. I'm gonna give you something totally different on that one. That's the first time your ass kissed. Come on, you didn't even know what you was really doing. That's your first experience, and it's fine because you grow from your first experience. I believe in learning lessons, but your first experience should never ever be so glorified compared to your last. You have to take it and enhance. It was good then. I promise you, from my very first kiss to the kiss I get now, I learned passion. I understood personal. You know, personally knowing how to. Because you got to know who you kissing.
Well, here's the thing.
First person I kissed, I promise you, I probably slaughtered them down. They probably thought I was a wet dog. Yeah, I ain't know no better.
It sounds like Barbara is trying to make a connection between our familiarity with people. Right, that the familiarity is that, you know, you can kind of trust this person because they was your first kiss. Nah, you can't. Right?
Bro, I put my lips on.
You can't. Right? You have to do a little more due diligence in that. And you know, the next one is really good. Knows your history and accepts you for who you are.
I like that one.
Right, but your childhood friend probably. Hey, I know you was a bad boy. How she accepted,
she can also disagree.
Yeah.
Because you gave her a lot of history.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times as you go, it's a lot of stuff she can judge from.
Yeah.
And that's
like,
that
you used to do gang banging, you used to kill people and rob people.
But now you all Mr. Good corporate
American. Yeah, now you want to be
I know you.
The minister.
Yeah.
Now you done found the Lord.
Yeah, found the Lord. Now you done killed several people.
But I know you. You're a killer. Yeah, you're really a killer, right?
But now you want to be a savior, but you was a killer.
Yeah.
I can't comment on that no more than a joke, and I ain't talking about pastors like that, but I will also say, no matter where you were, and can you change? Yes, you can. But a person to know you is very hard because it got factual data on you.
Yeah.
And that right there can always compel you to realize.
Yeah.
No matter how much you change.
There may be a lot of childhood friends. They're childhood friends. However, that the woman has already decided under no condition am I ever going to date him. Now, I know he looks good and he got a lot of money and he might be able to take care of me, but I already know how he acts. I already know him, and I ain't interested in doing that. going through all that. Because I know he kind of sneaky. He might sneak out. He might, cut the food. He might turn on you one night. He might leave you stranded. He might, he might be faking it. He might, be
I said faking it.
Yeah, Because, who you are with me as a friend might not be who you are as to the world.
Exactly.
Right? You may be real with me, but you a flodger when you go out the door, right? Because I know you can be real with me. You got to be real with me because I'm going to check you.
All day.
You talking about that nice new car you had or whatever, because I remember how you got it. You know what I'm saying? You borrowed it from somebody for a month and called it yours, but no, that wasn't your whip. But when you go out there, you can flodge. You know what I'm saying? So,
you do that unnecessary crap.
Yeah. So, I truly believe that friendship is the key. Keep your lifelong friends, and I say even better, keep your lifelong friends and make sweet love to them if you can. Right?
Is that a rap? Did you do a rap?
I just don't want people to put themselves into a long-term possibility and kill the friendship. Always fight to keep the friendship. The friendship should be number one, and that's my stance on the subject.
All I can tell you is all day long, I believe in keeping a friendship or a brotherhood when you got somebody that shows you the love. Because a lot of times they say blood is thicker than anything. And my whole thing is know what I create and what I've been through helped me create a stronger family. When I call you fam, it's because I see more in you.
Right.
And it's inspiring.
Right.
I just don't say it because genetics.
No,
My mom said it. I said it because, no, this dude right here, and that's how I introduced him to the family. This is my brother, and he ain't my biological, but this is my brother because he got me.
Yeah.
Same way family should have you. I'm never going to say family don't, because my family is huge, and they've been very supportive.
Yeah.
But to the ones that's not, you can pick a better situation. But you got to find it and respect it, because the respect is huge. And that's why my family stays strong. They taught that. And you have to show that with the next person that you bring in and say, that's my dog, that's my boy. Because the first thing you're going to sense is real respect level.
There you go.
Don't call it, you don't say it, and you don't do it.
And we're going to go ahead and close it out with that. This has been Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay. And we hope you have enjoyed this program for tonight. We are here every week, Thursdays, 7 to 9, Facebook Live. We have been here for the last 4.5 years. In September 17th, we will approach our 5th year. And we just want to thank you folks for participating and helping us continue to grow and get the good message out. We love you folks. We really appreciate you. And we hope you'll be here next Thursday to join us on the show. With that, folks, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.